What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. As you can see today, we're going to be taking a look at the Dasin model, Kuwabara. We finally have the last in the line, completing the team of 4, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to bust this open so that I can complete the team. But that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at that sexy packaging so we can dive right into the figure. Now, in case you're wondering why it says Kazuma, in case you don't know, that is Kuwabara's first name, because I know most people just call him Kuwabara, but yes, Kazuma is his first name. It's Kazuma Kuwabara. I don't know what this says. It's got the window right there where you can see the figure. 3 different colors on here. We've got a yellow, a white, a blue, and kind of whack to me, not going to lie. I don't care for that. Nothing much going on at the top. I guess some kind of legal stuff at the bottom, barcode, whatever. Nothing on this side, nothing on this side. And then on the back, it just says UU. So, trash packaging, but we're not here for that. Let's get straight into this figure. Now, before I get started, I do just want to give another big shout out to Omnime Store for sending this my way. In case you guys don't know, my last 3 reviews have been brought to you guys by Omnime Store. So if you haven't checked them out, go check them out, please. They are supplying a lot of what I'm adding to my collection lately, and I greatly appreciate it. Now, moving on to Kuwabara. Here we are. Dasin model has managed to give us exactly what we wanted in literally just 3 short months. In 3 months, we got Yusuke, Kurama, and Hiei. And I remember when I first started collecting, all we were asking Bandai and Figma for was Yu Yu Hakusho figures, and none of them delivered. Of course, that's because they had to obtain licensing and things like that, and it was probably way out of the way with budgeting and a whole lot of other factors that I don't really care about at this point because now I have them. And here it is. This thing looks really good. The proportions are exactly what they should be for Kuwabara. Tall, lanky, with a very weird head. And he's got that look on his face like he just finished smoking 15 cigarettes. You guys know what his English voice was like. I don't know, man. This thing is awesome. And it's very simple, just like the rest of the figures. As you can see, it's just his blue button up all the way down. Then you got some shoes on the feet here. Skin tone is, I wish it was a little bit less saturated, but I mean, still looks fine. He's got that cocky grin on his face, and I don't know, man, I really just like this thing. It's not a whole lot of detail to talk about when you're just looking at the figure, because we've already stated that they're very good with their fabric and stuff like that. So, I mean, it looks nice, man. We finally have Kuwabara, and I couldn't be more happy. Let's go ahead and put this guy back so we can see how tall he stands, and then we'll get into some other stuff. Now, to the top of his head, as you guys can see, he is right at about 7 inches, easily making him the tallest out of all the figures we've gotten so far, which is accurate. And of course, I will be showing some size comparisons a little bit later on in the review. But for now, let's move on to that articulation. Articulation-wise, he doesn't really look up too much. If you're just using the head, you kind of have to move the neck. That's going to be the only way you can get him to look up. And with the way that the eyes are painted on there, it is going to look like he's looking up at the sky or in the sky. He tilts his head down only about that much. He does get really good tilt left and right, so he can be very expressive or cocky, which Kuwabara is known to be. His arms go up and out about that much, and that's really good. T-poses just fine. He can bring them all the way in. You just kind of got to work with it. And so those spirit sword poses are going to be just fine. He does have a built-in thigh swivel, double jointed elbows. Always remember though, when you are posing these figures, get a feel for them before you just start articulating them, because you will break something if you don't know where the joints are inside this fabric. So yeah, anyway, the hands are on a Pretty sturdy ball peg. I always like to show these off so you guys have an idea of what they look like. Pretty big ball peg, and I've never had any issues with these. He does have a diaphragm joint. I don't know if that's coming out of the waist or what. And while I'm at it, I do want to show this. This is completely inaccurate. My boy should not have a t-shirt on under here. He's actually supposed to have some bandages wrapped up, and I'll show an image of something of how that's supposed to look. But let's see. I want to lift this a tad. Yes, he does have a diaphragm joint, and it actually goes back pretty far. I want you guys to be able to see this engineering. That looks pretty dang good, actually. And then you kind of have to push on the bottom and then pull it forward from the top to get him to lean forward. And then, of course, you get a little bit out of the waist as well. And then you can just kind of pull the t-shirt back down. I wish Yusuke's worked like this where you could cover the belt, but his is a little bit shorter. Anyway, he doesn't really turn at the waist like I thought he would. It's really coming out of the diaphragm. I don't know what's up with that. You can still get him to turn, but be careful. That's weird. Hold on. I want to see what's happening down here. I don't know. That's weird. He doesn't really turn at the waist, and I don't want to push it anymore because I don't want to break it. So yeah, I'm just going to say no waist turning. He does have movement there, but he does not turn. That is so weird. Anyway, he kicks forward about that much, and it's only being hindered by the fabric. He kicks back about that much. He can do the splits, but I wouldn't recommend going any further than that. He does have a built-in thigh swivel, double jointed knees, of course. Foot goes down very well, up very well. Very good ankle rocker. No toe hinge, unfortunately. So I gotta say, I'm very disappointed in the fact that he doesn't turn at the waist. But other than that, it's the same articulation we've grown accustomed to when it comes to Dasin model. Meaning 90% of the poses that you want to get him into, you're going to be able to do it. And I'm happy about that. Now, when it comes to accessories, you don't get a whole lot, but you get everything that you need for this particular version of Kuwabara. You do get his signature smirk, of course, but you also get a serious face, which I'm happy about. You do get a yelling face for whenever he's attacking. You do get a teeth gritted face, and then you get another grin where he's kind of got this cocky expression. This can be for when he's looking down at Yusuke, looking down at, I don't know, Hiei probably, because, you know, they have their banter. Or it could even be Kurama. And I also love the fact that they do have the eyes looking down on this particular head sculpt because he is taller than everyone. And so it just gives you options, and I love options. As far as hands go, you do get a pair of relaxed hands. You get a pair of gripping hands, and I believe these are for his sword. And then you do get a pair of hands for holding his briefcase, which, yes, he does have a briefcase for school. Even though he sounds like he's 50, he is only 15, my guys. So if you don't know Yu Yu Hakusho, now you know a little bit. And then lastly, you do get his spirit sword as well. This looks really good. I love this translucent plastic. I wish it was a little bit longer, but technically he wasn't very powerful when he first learned this technique. Hopefully we get other versions of Kuwabara, especially the one more towards the end of the Dark Tournament where he uses other techniques and he kind of can make other things out of his spirit sword. Or if they just gave us the sword get long version. And yes, that's literally what he named the technique, sword get long. But anyway, he also comes with a stand, and at this point, I'm not going to show those off anymore. No one cares. Every Dasin model figure comes with a stand. Moving on. Now, in the last, I would say about 2 years, companies have really been completing anime lines. And it doesn't, for me, as long as we at least get the main characters before a line continues, I'm satisfied. We've got the main 4 from Jujutsu Kaisen. We got the main 4 from Demon Slayer. We're getting the main trio from My Hero Academia. We're going to be getting the main trio from Naruto this year. And now here we have the main 4 characters from Yu Yu Hakusho. And they just look so good together, man. This makes me happy. I do wish Yusuke and Hiei were just a tad bit shorter. Those are my only complaints. Other than that, I am through the roof about these. And this is awesome, man. This is awesome. And if you haven't figured it out, we're on the size comparisons. Here he is standing next to the SHF Jujutsu Kaisen line. We do have my boy Sukuna taking over Yuji's body on the far left. In the middle, we do have the Queen Nobara Kugisaki. And of course, on the right, we have my boy Megumi Fushiguro. And once again, just stuff like this makes me happy. We got the trio, and I love it. Now here he is standing next to some smaller figures. We do have the Revoltech My Hero Academia Deku, the SH Figure Arts Best Selection Naruto, with a Sage Mode head sculpt on the body, and of course the Figma Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer, Zenitsu, who is my favorite character. Now, to give you guys a grasp of just how tall this figure actually is, here he is standing almost eye to eye with a couple McFarlane figures. I know this guy is the Batman Beyond Shriek, and I don't know who this is. I got it for $6 at GameStop, so yeah. But anyway, or Game Exchange, not GameStop, because I know some people will start asking questions. But yeah, here he is, and as you can see, this figure is very freaking tall. And lastly, you guys know I had to throw some legends in here. Here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Moon Knight. Had to show him off because the series just wrapped up. And of course, since the movie just dropped, I had to show him next to the Marvel Legends comic book Doctor Strange. And honestly, I'm just throwing this in here for the hell of it. It's not causing me any problems, but I was changing out the heads and the ball peg on mine looks like somebody's dog started like chewing on it or something. I don't know what the heck is up with that. I mean, it works, but I still wanted to show it off. So for my final thoughts on this, I have to say, once again, they killed it. But at this point, I really don't think that's saying very much when it comes to Dasin model. Now, the reason I say that, hear me out, is because I think every body they use is the exact same. At this point, I think all they do is they either scale it up or they scale it down. They sculpt new heads and they, I don't know, put together some new clothing. And that's really it, because all of these figures feel the exact same. Now, of course, the design work for Yu Yu Hakusho, that kind of works. With just the art style and everything, it does work. And I think that's also why they did that with the Slam Dunk line. I don't remember much about the One Punch Man line, but I think Genos felt almost the same as Saitama, except for, I guess, the metal arms. But I don't know, man. Saitama Dasin model, they just have their way of going about things, and for the most part, I like it. It's very simple and to the point, but their action figures do feel the same. Once you've had one, it kind of feels like you've had the other. Now, that's not saying it's a bad thing. It's just something that I did want to mention. If you've got these figures, pick them up. Get a feel for them. You'll see exactly what I mean if you haven't already. But once again, that's not a bad thing. That's just something that I wanted to mention because I really noticed it with this figure. Yusuke feels just like Kurama. Kurama feels just like Hiei. And then Hiei feels just like Kuwabara. They're just scaled different with different heads. But yeah, and another reason I said that is because it just explains how I can say all of these figures are great, because they're literally one and the same with brand new head sculpts and a couple different accessories. And so, yes, do I recommend this? Obviously, but it's Yu Yu Hakusho. Who else is giving us Yu Yu Hakusho figures right now? Of course, we've got the one-shots, but I mean, we literally just got Kurama, and I think that thing was supposed to come out like a year and a half ago. They showed off Kuwabara, but who knows when we're going to get that. And then hopefully we get a Hiei from them, but we'll just have to see about it. Anyway, these are going to suffice for me. I highly recommend picking these up because now that they've completed the line, I do feel like it's possible that these will all sell out. So don't allow these figures to slip through your fingers. It's late, guys. I'm sorry. I'm dropping this just for you. But anyway, that is my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and biggity bye. Peace.